Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
This ain't financial advice, just a little DD to help you think twice. We hold for each other, eyes on the prize. The new floor's 200,000 times 5. I joke, I kid, no, I don't know a damn thing. I'm as simple as Bubba trying to sell some damn shrimp. Can't spell IQ, can't even count to 10. And I eat crayons every day with my friends. I think about Kenny in his ivory tower, shaking in his lily boots as the apes overpower. Must suck to lose two monkeys, so dumb. But you made your bed and you got nowhere to run. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when he makes the prize fall. And he watching as we keep on more. You forgot we on the float blind, 2 hours old. Lie, stop breaking the law, asshole.
Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
Yeah, crayon eating Lambo loving smooth brain, stupid ass. Throwing all my money at the streets like a quarterback. FUD don't mean a thing. Water up a duck's back. Age not leaving nothing till we get the money stacks. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey holding till it blue. Monkey magic coming through us monkeys on the moon. Double digit IQ, tendy loving bamboo. Right here we got more smoothies than a jumbo juice. Probably thought you coulda made us sell all the gooder. And hell, we maybe woulda, but we more zen than the Buddha. The floor, 6 figures ain't selling for less. You took on the ape nation and you're fucking with the best. We hold for each other, my sisters and my brothers, the fighters and the lovers. We don't need another fan because we huddle through hard times and struggles. Cause we're just a couple of dummies in the rubble.
Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
Hello.
Oh, brother.
What is going on, Moon Gang? Today is Tuesday, October 5th. Octubre 5th, whatever that word is. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Octubre cinco de octubre. Who knows what it is? I don't know. I haven't made it that far with my little Dora the Explorer app to help me learn Spanish. So when I finally learn that, I'll let everyone know what it really is. But I hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day. Let's get after it. We do have a handful of interesting things to go over this morning, and then hopefully a great day of trading ahead of us. I'm very, very, very excited. But hey, before that, I really hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great day. I myself, what are we at? We're on day 3, you know? I've always hated those people who like get up early and have their life together and just see like really what's going on. And trust me, I'm not gonna become one of those people. It's just not me. It's not in my personality. I just don't have that much drive in my life to do that thing of like, I get up, I go to the gym, I make my bed. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. But as you all very well know, I'm probably one of the most petty people you're going to meet. And I've started to notice that I'm not on the top of the leaderboard of my stair stepper at the gym. So that little thing right there, the fact that someone thinks that they can walk up more stairs than me, it's going to drive me insane. And right now, I don't have it in the number 1 spot. I don't even have the number 2 spot. I have the number 3 spot and I have the number 4 spot. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's in between all the machines, if it updates. I don't know how it works. But as I saw this morning, I'm spot 3, I'm spot 4, and I can't have this. As of now, the number 1 spot is, I guess, some character named DSS. No clue who he or she is, but I have confirmed, unconfirmed reports that it is a Citadel plant sent to ruin my life. So I'll keep you update on all of that. Obviously, I know it's important for everyone. It is important for everyone to know, but probably more important, we should check out what's going on in the overall market today. Wall Street looks higher after Monday's tech decline. So thus far this morning, we are kind of seeing some bouncing. Here's the Qs, QQQ. That's going to track the NASDAQ 100. It's an ETF, an exchange traded fund. It does track a basket of stocks. This particular basket is a bit more tech heavy. So when people are talking about the tech sector, you're commonly talking about the Qs. And as you could see yesterday, we came right up to this support of the low from July 19th. And thus far this morning, it does appear to be showing some strength pre-morning. I was checking some of the futures market from the overnight sessions. We are in the green right now. You could say the same thing about the S&P 500. This particular ETF is going to track 500 of the biggest companies within the US. And then the Russell 2000 tracked by IWM. This is going to be more of the small cap. And we talk more about this just because AMC happens to be the largest stock within it. But as you could see, all of them, they are up in pre-market. As of now, the Russell 2000 is up 0.4%, the Qs are up 0.35%, and the SPY is up 0.4, almost 0.45. So we are seeing some green pre-market, and all of these are at levels of support. Well, specifically the SPY and the Qs seem like they're coming right off as the support, and hey, could be a good risk to reward setup. I'm very, very curious to see what kind of momentum we have in the first 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour of the day to kind of get hopefully a better understanding of what truly will play out over the day. Number 2, U.S. faces recession if Congress doesn't act on debt limit, Yellen says. So we know this lady who I'm not the biggest fan of her. She's specifically against crypto, and she's also just part of the establishment that we have going, and she's been calling out the date October 18th. So what's that give us? About 13 days where she, and I just don't know why, I always come back to her word of it could be a calamity. Oh no, Batman. But anyway, it is kind of a serious issue. Don't let the word calamity just make you laugh. It is kind of important. So right here, Biden warns that UA may breach debt limit, blaming McConnell. This is a classic he said, she said, right versus left, political gridlock. And a couple of if you look at what Biden's saying, he's going to refer to it as like, oh, the Republicans are stonewalling us. And then the Republicans are saying, why don't you just use reconciliation? And then if you're like me and you forgot everything from your gov class, you're like, what in the world is reconciliation? And basically, it doesn't really matter much for the House, but it's kind of relating to the Senate, where it almost seems as if all these GOP members, they don't want to vote on this. So they're basically trying to get the Democrats to get a majority, and if they can pass it through. But the difference between just passing the bill, which suspends the lending, the limit of this debt ceiling, on the other way, reconciliation, which is apparently a pretty lofty, cumbersome process, it puts a specific limit. So instead of just suspending it and saying we have no limit, they're saying do this reconciliation thing and give us a hard number. And I'm sure it's some sort of political chess move that they're going to be able to use in future political cycles. That's just my guess. I'm by no means a political expert. I'm just trying to learn enough to convey to all of you, because I need to know enough to the point of understanding how it's going to impact the overall markets. So I'm just trying to share what's going on. But I obviously know me saying anything like this right away prompts some sort of political debate in chat. All I ask is, I'm fine with people debating. Just be respectful of each other, please. All right. More important, and equally important, but just a different aspect. We were talking about kind of what's going on with the trading between U.S. and China. U.S. trade chief to engage with China on Trump deal shortfalls. The Biden administration will directly engage with Beijing in the coming days to enforce commitments in their trade deal and start a new process to exclude certain products from U.S. tariffs in an effort to help American workers and businesses. U.S. Trade Representative Catherine is set to speak to Chinese Vice Premier Li He soon, and will be the first meeting where she mainly stresses China's shortfalls in an agreement struck under former President Donald Trump. I am committed to working through the many challenges ahead of us in this bilateral process in order to deliver meaningful results, but above all else, we must defend to the hilt our economic interests. I'm hoping that in this particular showdown on the mat that we can continue to kind of show a little bit of strength and flex a little bit. Obviously, that would be advantageous to us as a country, our economy, we want the tariffs to clearly go in our favor. All right. A little bit about it, I guess, before I got into the OPEC oil thing, which is kind of an interesting development. Right here. I was talking about corruption yesterday in the Federal Reserve, and basically Clarita, one of the Fed members who way back in March, throughout March, he got out of all of his bonds and ended up buying stocks right before they lowered interest rates, which helped the economy. So he made a killing on the bond trade and then made a continued killing on the stock trade. But right now, you can't do that stuff. That is abusing your position. And now the Inspector General probing whether Fed official trades broke ethics rules or the law. So I don't know. I've been called many things in my life, but I've never been called an Inspector General. It sounds cool, and I'm assuming it's like a cousin-related role to Inspector Gadget. I don't know. I haven't researched that. I'll keep you posted. But anyway, it could become a big deal. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath on it. We obviously know, like, even in when I was doing the Pandora video yesterday, the Pandora Papers update, I talked about it. There's a big sense of cronyism going on in this world, but you never know. You never know if this person's actually going to drop the hammer on them. But here are the key points. The Fed is working with the Office of the Inspector General in its review of trades made by central bank officials to determine if they met ethics standards and did not break any laws. I don't know about the laws part, but I would strongly argue it did not meet any ethics standards. I mean, I think that's pretty blatant. Those trades, some of which total millions of dollars, have sparked concern that central bank officials could have traded based on non-public information. Well, duh. Fed Vice Chair Richard Clarita, the guy I was just talking about, Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan, and Boston Fed Eric Rosengart all traded just before and during the COVID-19 halt. They were all on my list yesterday, among one other name here. Oh, Powell. Powell was the other one. There was 4 guys I named. So all these guys, Kaplan, Rosengreen, Clarita, and Powell, all these people who are part of the Federal Reserve have been actively trading and actively making a killing. And it seems like the timing of their trades abnormally tied to what is going on with interest rates and the absurd policy of quantitative easing that we've seen as of recent. Speaking of Powell, this is news to me. I didn't know that you could actually bet, like, there's a breakdown, like I guess a betting thing, the probability on who's going to become the next Federal Reserve chairman. And as you can see, Powell down, 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 and Brainerd up, up, up. So that's as of 10/3. What's that? 2 days ago. So as of Sunday. But the probability of, I guess, Powell retaining his position is going down with every single passing day. In fact, some would say he's at a support level, and let's see if this breaks through. He seemed to be higher, like at one point in time, literally the end of September, over an 80% chance. But basically now with Warren calling him out and just other things that are kind of going awry with all this alleged insider, I should say, just in case there's a lawyer listen to me. His stock, his chance of getting there is going down, down, down. This is cool. You could check this out. It's an article posted by Bloomberg. Powell's future markets dips, and built out market for that bet. Kind of interesting. Oil prices rose to a 7-year high after OPEC allies move. So this is very, very interesting. There is a certain subset of families and connected people who kind of control the world's oil supply. It's not really a natural market of supply and demand. It's like these group of people who kind of get to decide what they want to do. And most recently, both OPEC and their allies decided against increasing the supply of oil. And when you decide to not increase the supply, obviously, if that's not happening, demand's going to stay the same or even increase. That's going to send prices high, and that's why we're seeing oil at some points over $80 a barrel. And also, it's going to be kind of related to, even with us, when we're talking about stocks like CEI, that's in the oil and gas industry. So it kind of makes sense that these stocks related to this world are also doing well because the supply of oil is being constrained, and we're just seeing it rip higher and higher and higher. Facebook whistleblower to testify, platform outage fixed. So this was kind of crazy yesterday. For a little over, 6 hours, many things were down, including Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. There was many, many jokes, but I mean, I'm always here for jokes, but also please remember that there's many people who make their livelihood off of this stuff, like for advertising their business and those types of things. So like, I always think in my mind, just because it's like where I'm from, of small business, that's my background with my family. So when things like this, like if there's certain families relying on that and like their advertisements for money, it kind of sucks. Talking about the platform outage, it's not like really I care too much about like these Instagram models or anything along that. Just for me, this is kind of my background in terms of like the tech. So I was kind of interested in what this was. It was the BGP protocol. I think it's, what is it? I wrote this down. It stands for Border Gateway Protocol. I always just knew it was BGP. Basically, it's a map where all of us, the computers, the internet world, can find all the resources you need for it to load. And that was broke. Like the map wasn't there. So that's kind of what was going on in a technical sense. We don't have to get more into detail, but basically the world's computers could not find what they needed to find. And that's what led to this. And obviously it's now fixed. But with that being fixed, that doesn't mean that Facebook's problems are fixed. Remember, I think her name is Frances. What's her name? There's a Frances. What her last name is? Hagen. I think it's Hagen. Frances Hagen. She is going to testify in front of Congress today about basically right here, Facebook hearing, whistleblower Frances Hagen testifies before Senate panel. So to the Wall Street Journal, she released all these documents, and then she also did a 60-minute interview basically talking about how Facebook is putting their bottom line revenue above everything else. And it's of her opinion that they're actively promoting and prompting like hate and anger because it gets more engagement. And when you get more engagement on social media, that does end up relating to more money. And honestly, it's like not that surprising to anyone. I mean, even look at like YouTube here. How many people do we know that they grew and they got views because of drama and fighting? And I think Facebook's just been pulling it off at like a way larger scale and a way more malicious and intellectual scale. Like they're very smart. They have all these fancy algorithms. It's not that surprising that Facebook has been kind of like doing this, at least according to her, and she has the documents, the Wall Street Journal. But yeah, this is going down today. So Facebook's had a rough run of it. I believe, what was it yesterday? Everyone was pointing out that like, I think Zuckerberg lost like $6 billion yesterday. He's not been having a good one. And some would argue that it's kind of justified for what's going on. Like the stoppage of their services, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they fixed that technical problem, but this is by far a bigger problem. And I would assume, just because of the climate that we're dealing with right now, I would assume that the Senate is going to come down pretty hard on Facebook, if I just had to guess. And in terms of crypto, Bitcoin breaks 50,000, which is awesome. We're still above 50,000. Crypto is ripping. Ethereum is looking great. We have Cardano at 222. Would love to see this above 250. Solana right below 170. I mean, crypto is just really flexing. It's looking awesome. With it, there's no particular thing. Like at first, this got jump started when Powell, the Fed chairman, said that they have no intention of banning crypto, kind of opposite of what the People's Bank of China, PBOC, was recently saying. So he kind of undid some of these, the remarks from the political leaders over there in China. So that kind of jump-started it. But since that was a while ago, like that was at the end of September, it's more of it just found support and people like the demand came back in. And for me, I'm very, very excited with Bitcoin being above 50,000 and the rest of the crypto sector really being elevated. So I think that's awesome news. And last but not least, Tesla must pay ex-worker $137 million over a hostile workplace and racism. So Owen Diaz, unfortunately, had to be, I guess the court found that he was putting up with racism, and that apparently accounted to $137 million. I wonder, is Tesla up today? I think it is. Yeah, it's up. So it doesn't really seem to be impacting the stock. But to a company that is worth $774 billion, 137 is very much a speeding ticket. But also within the world of EV and vehicles, just so you know, GM came out with a statement yesterday that they believe their autonomous sector is going to eventually reach a revenue of $50 billion. And to me, this just gives a little bit more credence to the world of EVs, autonomous vehicles. I've said it many, many times. I'm very bullish on the sector for the remainder of the decade. Very, very bullish. I'm looking at all of these stocks, the upstream and downstream companies that are related to the world. It's just as technology advances, it's not going to be long before EVs really hit a price parity with common gasoline and diesel vehicles. So to me, it's a strong sector to bet on. And I'm invested in various stocks. I'm invested in Tesla straight up. We've been talking a lot about Lucid. We've been talking about Cathie Wood's ARQ ETF, which is tracking the autonomous EV space. There's many, many good options there. Like obviously GM's getting into it. They've been in it for a bit, but they're continuing to develop it. Recently, people have been asking me more and more about Ford as Ford is stepping into that space. I truly believe that overall sector, the EV autonomous sector, is a strong bet in more of a long-term sense. And honestly, what we're seeing recently, potentially even in the short to medium term at this moment in time, but overall, I truly, truly believe that EV is a good long-term bet in everything, and at least the writing that I'm seeing on the wall, in my own opinion. All right, so that's your kind of quick breakdown of the overall world, what's going on, specifically to AMC. Just so you know, the utilization is 86%, the shares on loan is 113 million, and the short interest is currently 20.4%. Another commentary about AMC, this isn't really specific to it, but it is, I guess, specific to the world of Hollywood. What does this acronym stand for? The IATSE, the theatrical stage employees, 98% of them confirmed that they want to go on strike. They voted for a strike. 98% of this overall organization, maybe it's a union, I would assume it's a union, and it's the classic things that you want in a strike. They're going for higher pay, less work hours. So with this could, depending on how quickly it is or isn't resolved, it could obviously have an impact on film creation. And with film creation, if not many films are being made, what's that going to do to the movie going experience? I really don't know. I don't know how long this will or won't last. So it's just something to keep on the back burner and pay attention to. And let's pay attention to what the theatrical stage employees, let's see how long the strike goes on. It might be resolved very quickly. It might take some time. I don't know, but it is something to at least pay attention to. GameStop. The short interest is 15.07%. The utilization is almost 36%. And the shares on loan just below 9 million now, coming in at 8.82 million. So for AMC and GME, some quick technicals. AMC is currently at support. We've seen this before. It is resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, some consolidation, some support. And we're talking about that $37 level, pretty much where we're at right now, the low 37s. This is kind of an important pivot point for AMC. If it can't hold it, I'm once again watching 34, but if it can hold it, I'm looking for the return to the key psychological level of 40, and then past that, I'll be watching 41.50. I'm very, very interested in 41.50, rejection, 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 because above it, we know it's important resistance, but past that, we have the gap fill, hopefully in the short term, up to 44.20, and this gap is from September 17th to the 20th. In terms of GameStop, we've been in this bull flag for quite a while. I know it's kind of weird. It doesn't really make sense. It almost sounds like a misnomer. It's trading downward in this parallel channel, and those are called bull flags. It's trading upward, downward channel, two parallel lines. These commonly, they don't have to, but they commonly break upward. That's just the name of this technical structure. It doesn't have to go that way. That's just where the edge is. The caveat to this entire technical structure is you just don't know how long it's going to build out for. So there's two ways you could play it. You could play it by maybe you're feeling lucky and you buy it at the bottom edge and you just hope it's the last time it touches, and the next time it touches the top one, it's actually a breakout. Or you could wait and look for the breakout and then just kind of risk the most recent low as your risk reward setup. Well, your reward setup would obviously just be a continuation, but the risk would be whatever the most recent touches, and you're hoping that that breakout actually holds. But once again, I would strongly argue that GameStop, ticker symbol GME, is currently in a bull flag, and let's just see what it does or doesn't do. As of today, to get out of this bull flag, we would kind of be watching 178-ish. So that's a level you could watch. That's the important breakout level, at least to me in the short term. And I don't know, for AMC to do the equivalent thing, I'd watch this $1.50 region between 40 and then 41.50. That's the region I would watch for an interesting breakout today for, I guess, really both of these moon stocks. All right, I think we get all over this. Let me just check my notes. The Senate committee with Francis Hagan, that could be interesting. That could definitely be interesting depending on it's going to take time, but maybe the Senate decides to somehow put regulations on big tech, which, I mean, I don't think that'd be the craziest thing, depending on whatever truly is in her testimony. So that you might want to throw that on your radar just to pay attention to it. I should probably put up Facebook throughout the day. I'm assuming it'll be a mover based on what is or isn't said. Let me throw this up here. Could be an interesting watch. But I mean, I don't know really, because I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla got hit with racism in a hostile workplace and they were fined, and the stock doesn't care. The stock is up even more. So you never know. Obviously, there could be good and or bad things happening in reality and the world and socially, but it doesn't always have to translate into a direct impact on the stock market. We've seen that many times before. I mean, even sometimes fundamental developments with the company don't have we've heard very good earnings announcements and the stock drops. We've heard bad earnings announcements and the stock rises. Sometimes it can be a crapshoot because you don't know how the rest of the world is really going to interpret and react to whatever the news is at that moment in time. AMC currently trading at 37. Remember, we're watching that low 37 level as support. I wanted to quickly retake that. GME currently at 172.20. IWM and SPY, they were pushing upward. We looked to have relative to yesterday's close, a gap up in both of them, but a little bit of heaviness right now. But we also have about 5 minutes to go, so we could just wait. No need to really guess when we could just be a little bit patient and see how this all is or isn't going to rip. All right, so that's my breakdown. That's just what I would say everyone needs to know. Oh, shoot. How did I lose all of those already? Oh, this is frustrating. I was going to go get your questions, but sometimes YouTube just makes them disappear. Let me see if I can get these back. Let me see. All right. Oh, perfect. I got them. After that PROG 1 candle, Prague. What's going on with Prague? Closed yesterday at 140. We're up to 158. So it shot up, looked weak. Looks like it is going to acknowledge this support at 147-ish. We could just call it 150. If I were in PROG, which I am not, I would be very much paying attention to 175 today, currently trading at 157. Remember, PROG, it does have a pretty notable short interest here. I'll show everyone. This is I believe it's either cancer testing, cancer treatment. It's kind of in that world. It's definitely like a biotech, pharma world. Short interest is almost 74%. Utilization is 95, and shares on loan 16.6 million. All right. Hey, bro, have you heard of Boss Token? Nope, but I am getting quite a few super chats of people that seem to be trying to pump it. I'm not in it. If you're in it, hey, I would just say maybe don't get greedy. If you're making some money, congratulations. I'm not gonna. There's always different ways to trade. Like, not everything has to be a long-term investment. Not everything has to be a diamond-handed fight against like illicit actions within Wall Street. So with Boss Token, if you're just in and you see that everyone's excited and it runs up, I would just be like, okay, like I don't want to get too greedy. Once I have a nice percentage return, I would just like kind of lock it in. But I don't know anything about it. Watch the Twitter video from the German. Oh, I think they flew a banner over in Germany, right? I think that's what happened. Hey, Matt, what will be the action plan for AMC GME if the market flashes? Are we still negative beta? Will it trigger MOAS? It could, but it could. But I don't think the odds are necessarily that way. People try to point out this negative beta thing, and I just think it's people who don't understand what beta is. Beta is a value that is telling you how correlated is a stock to the S&P 500. So basically people are saying, hey, it has a negative beta. So as in, if the stock market goes down, that means that AMC should go up. The issue here is beta is calculated based on a certain time frame. So I could show you time frames right now where AMC would consider to have a negative beta, but other time frames where it would have a positive beta. And in fact, on most time frames, AMC does have a positive beta, as in it's correlated with the same movement of SPY, not inversely. I'm not saying it's always going to be positive. There are time frames, I've seen them myself, where it is a negative beta, but that's not necessarily, that doesn't hold true in every time frame. So I would not be making any trades or decisions, or even myself finding any mental comfort in this concept of AMC being a negative beta and somehow like hoping for a market crash. In the event of a market crash, the reason I could see it going either way is because you don't know who's going to like pull the ripcord first. Is it going to be the big institutions who are long on AMC, such as BlackRock, the money manager Vanguard, or is it going to be the people who are short on AMC? We don't know. So like I could not sit here and truthfully tell you that like a market crash would be good or bad, because we would have to see how it plays out. But in reality, I think it's very, very bad to like hope for a market crash, because in no way would it definitively prompt the MOAS. Like no one, whoever's pitching that concept, I just don't think that they know enough about the market. And also with it, to me, it's pretty like inhuman. When the market crashes, people lose their lives. There is a lot of money within the stock market related to government programs. So when there's a lack of health insurance, when there's a lack of food, like the Meals on Wheels type of thing, homeless shelters, those type of things, it's not good. People like there's some stat out there with every percentage drop in the S&P 500, it is directly correlated to the loss of like X lives. I don't know what that number is off the top of my head, but a market crash is nothing that I'd be like, oh, I hope this happens, because it usually has some like lives like as a cost. So like it's not something I would ever be hoping for. But hey, Coach Kohrs, my wife had a request to play that sweet song by the Grillionaires for our anniversary. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, I started off the stream with it. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is open. All right, let's get rocking. Matt, is MMAT a short squeeze? What's your opinion? MMAT is a bit more of a complicated play in all reality, because it's short interest. If you just look it up on Ortex, it's not like that evident. Its short interest comes from the TRCH merger. And even with that, if you own TRCH, well, now you're doing a special dividend thing with the MMAT acquisition. So with that, MMAT, if you're really diving into the DD of what happened with TRCH, it's definitely interesting, and I would say the probability is there, but it's a bit more complex than a lot of these other plays that people are discussing, because you have to look into the finer details of that acquisition. Have a good day. Shout out Meme Maker OG. Thoughts on SEC since it's now on the threshold list? Are you looking at a position? Oh no, just being on the threshold list would not be that's one of my prerequisites. I would want it on the threshold list. I would want a high short interest. I would want a high utilization. I would want it to be a lower float. But also, I think the one that people really forget is the positive price action. I want to see it coming above like the 4 exponential moving average, the 4 simple moving average. You need that positive price action. And I don't know if SDC has that at the moment in time. It definitely doesn't have that at the moment in time. It's in a bull flag for sure, so I'd be waiting for the bull flag to break. But there is clear support at $5, $5.20. If it goes below $5, you could watch $4.85, and then you're watching the all-time low $4.62. But you need the price action. I wouldn't just arbitrarily buy a stock that like I'm not seeing any demand in. Please tell me what's up with no, will it keep dropping to 550? No, N-O. Please. Delphi Saver, what's up with no? I'm not seeing that as a stock. Could you send the stock that you like? I think you have a small typo there. Could you send that to a mod? These Discord pump and dumps are swarming your channel. Could be. I mean, I don't think it's ever really like it's tough to like. Can you make money on pump and dumps? Yeah, but there's also a lot of bag holders in pump and dumps, and it's just okay. Like, well, which one are you going to be? How agile are you going to be? Personally, I would never go out of my way to be like, oh, I want to get involved in this pump and dump. I don't think it like I can't tell anyone what to do with their money, but pump and dumps create a lot of bag holders, and you don't want to be the one who's there when the rug gets ripped. And one way to battle that, and this isn't even necessarily just for pump and dumps, this is for just anytime you're engaging in the market, is your risk and reward. You cannot enter a trade and just be like, okay, like I'm in now, like what am I going to do? Always have a plan. At what price level would it hit for you to get out for a loss? At what price level or whatever your other metric is, would you get out for your reward? Like, just have a trading plan. And there's so many different trading plans. You can get in and be like, I'm going to hold this for 3 days. I don't care what happens. You can get in and be like, I'm going to risk this price level. You can get in and be like, hey, I'm just going to have a trailing stop. You can get in and be like, hey, I'm going to sell some here and here, percentage gain, price level. You could be waiting for shorts to cover. There's so many different options for you to create some sort of trading plan. And for me, I really don't care what your trading plan is. It's just, I want you to have one. If you're listening right now, I beg of you, no matter what stock, option, future, crypto, whatever, if you're betting on Powell getting reelected to the federal chair, I don't care what it is. Just have a plan. Have some sort of well-defined plan. So in the case of a volatile movement, or maybe you're just bored out of your mind, it doesn't matter. Whatever the environment is, you should have a plan so you know how you're going to react. In trading, when there's especially volatile movements, it's easy to see like a deer in the headlight scenario of like, oh, I don't even know what to do. A lot of profit, a lot of loss. Like you just don't know what to do. And that's why having a trading plan is so helpful, because you're going to have a better idea of how to react in whatever the given scenario is. And so for you, and that's different. It's not like there's a perfect planning system out there. Everyone has a different size portfolio. Everyone has different goals. Everyone has different timeframes. Everyone has different personalities, which inherently means they have a different risk tolerance. So I can't sit here and be like, hey, like this is my plan and it's best, so everyone should be using my plan. Well, no, not necessarily. I have winning trades. I have losing trades. I'm sure you watching have winning trades. You have losing trades. It's all about finding what works for your situation. And when you find some repeatable methodology, well, then you just double down on that. If you find a methodology that works for your personality, your account, and is obviously profitable, well, great, just double down on it. That's what, to me, I think that's one of the easiest ways to sum up trading. Find something that works for you, double down on it, stick to your plan. Don't do whatever you can to not break your rules, especially with AMC and GME. Unfortunately, I'm seeing a rise in the amount of people who think they could just buy whatever stock, especially if it's shorted, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to diamond hand this. I don't know how to make this more specifically clear. Nothing in the entire market is like AMC or GME. You know what's like AMC? AMC. You know what's like GME? GME. Those two are in a league of their own. I don't even really like the comparisons of them, but like I would say they're the closest to each other, just because of the psychology of the group who watches both of them. Beyond that, no. This concept of you can just buy whatever you want, especially if it's shorted and you think it's just going to go all the way to the moon, that is a very, very poor methodology. And I think people who engage in it, I'm of the opinion that over the long run, you'll end up losing money. To me, AMC and GME are very, very special. I have the money in them that I am willing to risk to go to zero. That's my own plan, but that's not everyone's plan. Maybe someone out there, they're like, oh, I'm going to bet more, but my risk point's higher, not at zero. Like, I don't know. I'm very, very happy the AMC and GME saga, because it brought so many people into the stock market, which I think is an amazing thing. It's super, super good that more people, they care about financial literacy. That makes me very happy. But obviously not everything is just like super green. Like it's not all pros. There's obviously cons to every scenario. It's the yin and yang of it. And I think with AMC and GME, it's gotten some of the newer apes to think that everything in the stock market's like AMC and GME, and it's really not. In fact, the exact opposite is true, that AMC and GME are the definition of a black swan event. And we might never see one of those again. We might see them again. I don't know. But like, I just know that they are, from a statistical standpoint, in no way common. So if you're watching right now, especially if you're kind of newer and you're trying to figure out like, wait, do stocks always move like that? I think that's like a strong thing for you to at least consider. Oh, I don't know if I said this. Remember, hey, folks, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a lawyer. I beg of you, do not copy my trades. I don't know how to be more transparent about this. I am not a perfect trader. There's no reason for you to copy any of my trades. I have winners. I have losers. I trade my portfolio. I'm looking to make the most money I can based on my portfolio, my risk tolerance, my personality, my background, my knowledge of stocks. When I got a little bit of like, I guess, kickback yesterday about me changing my streaming schedule, as if that somehow relates to like what you should or shouldn't do on AMC and GME. And I've honestly like never heard more of a like ludicrous notion. It doesn't make sense to me. Me being on YouTube talking about stocks and something, how does that in any way relate to you keeping your position? It's your money. I don't watch your pockets. You don't watch my pockets. We're all in charge of our own portfolio. And I think that's something for everyone to consider. But with that being said, I am long on AMC. I'm long on GME. Like I'm looking for them. I'm not going anywhere with it. I want both of these things to squeeze. But I guess I want to share that because I don't know. Like I think it's weird that people are putting weight into people who are on social media of what they should or shouldn't do with stocks. You just shouldn't. You have to learn yourself, trade your own account, and do not file some sort of like social media account to like somehow have an impact on your trades. Do you think SafeMoon coin is a pump and dump? What I know about it, yeah, I do think that. There's other people who would vehemently disagree and be like, hey, you just haven't looked into it. Look at our path. Look at the devs. Like, all this is great. I have like 18 quadrillion of these and it's going to the moon. Hey, I hope it does. I don't want anyone to lose money. Do I think it's a pump and dump? Yes. But do I hope that I'm right? No, I don't, because I know with pump and dumps, people lose money. So that's my opinion, but I also hope my opinion is incorrect. Stick to taking up the time. Moving on to the next topic. Love you. Shout out Big Shot. Can you check Ride? We're getting screwed with the downgrade. I thought Foxconn deal was smart. Ride. Lordstown Motors down 10%. Ooh, Lordstown is getting hit. Lordstown, I don't know. The closest support is 475. I would watch that. There is a gap above it you could watch. So maybe when some buyers step in, I would be interested in this play up to 584, but this is obviously not a good deal. The little bit I know about the Foxconn deal, I thought it was good, but obviously there's something in the deal that was not good, and that explains why we have 3 pretty brutal red days. All right, let me go back to the SPY here. All right, let's go. All right, AMC, we're down 30 cents on the day. So we just needed this to push 36.70. I'm still watching the low 37s, currently trading at 36.50. GME is at 169. SPY, it went up, got hit, trying to fight back. IWM just got hit again, and now it's trying to fight back at this 220.70 level. Hey, there's AMC. AMC just went green momentarily. AMC is pretty much at the red-green support / resistance level. Matt Kohrs, I've been seeing huge wicks with tiny candles in the 1 minute AMC for a while. GME low volume stocks don't seem to have this. Thoughts? I mean, it's all dependent on the time frame you're looking at. AMC is going to have a bit more volatility just because more shares are traded, like exponentially more shares are traded of AMC, so it's a bit more whippy. But just because something's more whippy doesn't mean it's going to have the wicks within its candle. I don't really think it's like indicative of anything too special. It's just, I mean, all these candle charts, they're just like a graphical representation of high-low, open, close. So it just so happens that I guess the closing of a bar is pretty close to an opening, but it's volatile within that time frame. But obviously that also does change based on like the time frame that you're currently viewing. SPCE, what's going on with Virgin Galactic? Virgin Galactic down 2%, and it's looking heavy. The main support I would watch on Virgin Galactic right now is 21. You have this gap fill from May 21st, which is 2175. 2175, but I would still be watching 21. But SPCE does look heavy right now. I think there's a bit more downside and hopefully it gets a bounce off of that. But just so you know, there's another gap fill, which would be down to 1727. Wonder if there's an opportunity gap fill. USO, isn't this another oil one? USO, yes. I mean, if it keeps going, this is a bit weird. It's kind of correlated, but it's not like a perfect directly correlated to the overall oil market. As oil remains strong, yes, I would be watching 58. From there, you could watch 68, 80. But I do think it'll take time. But as oil remains strong, I would expect USO to remain strong. All right, we did that. DraftKings. How's DraftKings looking? So I had a nice region of demand between 48 and 45. I bought it a little bit here. I'm probably just over break even. I like this. It shot up. It came down. It's now chopping. I'm hoping that this means the buyers and sellers are battling it out, and then just fingers crossed that enough demand is found that we get this break of 51-ish, and then a nice push to 55, and then after that I'd be watching 58. But I'm a fan of DraftKings. I like this level so much that I loaded up on some, not a huge amount for my portfolio, but I bought some, and I'm just looking at it as a long-term investment. I was like, hey, I bought it on weakness. I like the stock, and I'll just sit on it now. All right, AMC pushed that level, the low 37s I was talking about, hit 37.21, currently at 36.90, showing some strength there. The Russell's bouncing back around. How's the SPY looking? How is the SPY? The SPY is also picking up a bit. There we go. All right, all right, all right. All right, let's see what the Russell has in it today. Let's see what the Russell has in it.
Whoa, brother. Big super chat.
Russell's looking good. Keep pushing. The SPY's pushing. AMC's pushing. GME kind of lagging behind. Low volume. Everything else is green except for GME, unfortunately. I wonder why that is. But we're getting some enthusiasm. Hang on. Maybe Jimmy Boy here is just sleeping in on the day. Possibility. Hopefully this gets going pretty soon, though. Hopefully pretty soon. Can you check? So lazy vegan hippie. Yeah, we kind of went over SDC. The thing with SDC, it's closer to hitting all my prerequisites now that it's on the threshold list, but it doesn't have any... I guess like price action is probably the best way to articulate it at this moment. And price action is definitely one of the more important prerequisites. It just having a short interest being on the threshold list, a high short interest being on the threshold list, that's not enough to buy a stock. At least with this methodology of an FTD short squeeze play, I wouldn't say like you still need the positive price action. You need demand to be represented somewhere. It's not like demand's going to come out of thin air just because there's short interest and it's on the threshold list. Started watching this Moon Kid, made a trading log with a goal of 10% gains a month and been blowing the goal out of the water. Long on Matt Kohrs. Shout out to Basco Dave. Kid had to go to the hospital. He's fine now, but at the time I was 3 hours from home, driving home. I kept telling myself, calm, cool, and collected. You're just helping with stocks, so thank you. Shout out now to Hedge Fund. I'm happy that he's all good. Definitely going to be my thoughts. MS gave a price target of $2 for ride. Morgan Stanley did. Oh. That's not good. Delphi server meant Neo. But I also thought Delphi was asking about like 550. Maybe 55 is what Delphi meant. So on Neo, I'd be watching kind of this wedge that we have going on. Not really a bull flag, but kind of a wedge. Is it going to break down and be more bearish, or is it going to break up, retake 38, and hopefully push 46? With this patience, I like Neo. It's not my favorite one just because of the increase in political tensions between the U.S. and China. That is something you have to weigh in beyond just like the increased competition within the EV sector. So as of right now, in terms of EV manufacturers, like as in the vehicles, I would say I like Tesla and Lucid the best, and Neo would probably be third. I just think Neo has more inherent risk related to it. Matt, please keep criticizing SEC. Every time you do, the price goes up. Hey, I mean, if you're in, like, when I give my opinion, I don't want anyone to lose money. Like, I really don't. It needs this action. And honestly, if it closes above 565-ish, kind of like, what do we have? Like some support, a little bit of resistance, somewhere between 550 and 560, a close above that could be the breakout of this bull flag. That's what I was saying. We just need the price action. Who knows? Today might be the day that the buyer set up. We break out of this bull flag and it starts to push the $6 region again. Look for the close specifically above 555, but it would be better above 555, but it would be better above 565. Kind of confirmation you're getting out of this bull flag and the demand is showing up. Look, buddy, happy flipping Taco Tuesday. Are you still doing afternoon sessions? Missed the morning session yesterday and didn't see your live stream in the afternoon. I was lost without you in my life. 8-man Dan, no, we're kind of doing a switch up just to produce higher quality content. I think I guess with these decisions, I always do it through the lens of how can I provide the most value to the community? And I believe the most value I could provide is more of a highly produced show in the morning, like this stream right here. I'm looking to do more of a highly produced, like 120-minute show from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And then I want to do a more highly produced video upload. And the first one of that, so basically this new schedule and idea of mine, we started with it yesterday with the morning, and then we ended up doing I was really happy with it. We did a Pandora paper update yesterday of like, what are the Pandora papers? But the entire goal is a little less content, but way, way higher quality. And that's what I'm going to be kind of test driving. And I don't know if it's the right step. I think it's the right step. Obviously, that's why I'm doing it. But if it's the wrong step, I could always go back to normal. But for me, it's just the question of how can I assist the community the most and convey sometimes very complex subjects in a easy to digest manner. And for me to do that, that involves time. It involves time of researching, setting up interviews, my own scripting, my own editing. It's a full, it takes a lot to do like all the production stuff that has been going on, and I'm trying to bring it to the next level, which just means it's going to involve more time. But I also recently just saw, and this is what I was alluding to a bit earlier, it just seems like some people on social media like rely on some, for whatever reason, knowing my position and Trey's position to like, for them to keep their own. And I don't like that at all, because that means that you're not your own independent trader. I don't think that's good. This trade is your trade. As a sole individual trader investor, this trade is my trade. It's not, you shouldn't be reliant on someone else. Like, you should be confident in your own DD, your own technical breakdown. It's that concept of give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, teach a man to fish, and he'll eat forever type of a deal. So with that, when I kind of saw that was the way it was trending, I was like, okay, I need to make higher quality content so I can just teach and educate and entertain at a higher level. AMC looking per T, 37.40 right now. Even GME waking up, trying to push that 170 level. I would love for GME to get back above 175. Remember that bull flag breakout on GME on the daily chart is around that like 178 level. Regardless of your streaming schedule, I'm always going to be long on Matt Kohrs. You taught me so much about stonks. Best of luck in the future. Hey, and it's like, yeah, it's not like I'm still talking about AMC, GME, still doing the morning streams. It's just, how can I make it better? I make every decision with this social media career of how can I provide the most value? And I think I could provide value by making higher quality content. Higher quality content requires more time behind the scenes, and that's what I'm willing to put in. Totally real Ape Dad reminding you to check your oil. Shout out Mark Williams. All right. Would you give your thoughts and analysis on SHIB? So I've heard that SHIB is running. SHIB. I honestly have not. Where is the USD? SHIB USD. Whoa. SHIB, it's running. Had a nice technical breakout. I hate when it's so cheap. Like, I don't know. We'll just call it 16 right now. From a technical perspective, there's really not much to do. I mean, it's overblown right now, and we're seeing a bit of bearish divergence unless it keeps pushing. If I were in it, I would be risking, I guess, 12, whatever this is, so roughly 25%. That's kind of a wide risk, but hey, it shot up. You all had a bullish pennant, lower highs, higher lows, and then it popped. This is a bullish technical structure. It's a bit chasey right now just because the risk is kind of far away, at least the risk I would pay attention to. But I do admit this chart looks pretty strong. I don't really know much about the project. I follow quote unquote more established projects such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana. That's where I have a high portion of my crypto portfolio, like a high portion. I have some SHIB, but that's just because like I got it from a Voyager questionnaire. I filled it out and they gave me like $25 worth of SHIB. So I'm happy with it. Like I want it to go up. But in terms of what I think has longevity, if I just want to get my crypto methodology is buy ones I like and forget about it and just like ride it out for a decade or two. And to me, SHIB is not at that level. If I had to put money in a long-term bet, long-term, SHIB could be a great short to medium term. People are making a lot of money and I congratulate all of you. I truly do. But my crypto methodology is a bit different, but that's okay. People trade differently. I look for long-term crypto investments. Other people like to actively trade crypto. They're all fine. They can all live in one ecosystem together. I'm not saying my methodology is the best. It's what works for me. What would be a good crypto NFT wallet? I'm very happy with MetaMask. I've been using that. I also have Trust Wallet. I have a cold store, like a Ledger Nano X that I have some Bitcoin in that I just leave in a safe. You're wrong though with the wrong you're. So technically, Night Cow, I could say that you're wrong. Oh, wait, what am I wrong on? What have I said incorrectly? He has a cold storage. A Ledger Nano X. It's pretty cool. It looks like a USB drive, and it's how you can store crypto offline. You got to do the Kenny G to win your community. You pat yourself on the back, say America 3 times, and then pause to collect yourself. The Lord King. Come on, guys. We're ripping. Could be a hot chip day. Y'all worried about Matt's schedule. Wake up. 8's coach money. Transferred from Fidelity to on Friday. Cleared this AM fast. Oh, so I decided yesterday, this is important, I forgot about this completely. For all the people who are asking me about transfers and all of that, I officially transferred all of my Webull holdings over to public. So, I mean, I guess technically right now I'm the owner, but like I don't have direct access to my shares. Yesterday, once again, I transferred in my Webull, all I had was AMC and Jimmy. I transferred those shares over to public, and I'll let you know when they hit. I kind of wanted to do it because I talk about it and I've never transferred stock before. So I'll let you know. I just figured, hey, if I'm talking about this thing, it's better if I like go through the process myself. And also beyond that, like I just there's no reason for me at this point in time to any longer be using Webull. So I was like, hey, I'll do the transfer. And so right now, I just wanted everyone to know. So as soon as that transfer actually hits, I'll kind of give everyone an update of, hey, if you're trying to transfer from Webull to public, it took me X amount of time. I think it estimated, it's like, oh, it'll happen within 10 days, but it said like within. So as soon as that actually goes through, I'll be able to personally tell you how long the transfer took my account. Can we get a rundown on CEI today? CEI. Had a good morning, looking a bit heavy right now. CEI, you want this to hold 285-ish, like just support from September 29th, support from October 4th or 1st, excuse me, not the 4th. Today's the 5th. Whoa, time flies. You're looking for it to hold this and ideally get above this 350, 365 level. In terms of the short interest, %55.37%. It's more of a medium float though. I don't love its float. I wish the float were smaller, but the utilization is still decently high, almost at 95. All right, I don't need this. Let me double check this. All right, sweet. There. Perfect. Yesterday was the second Monday in a row when AMC was red Monday and it ended green. Closed to close Friday before last Monday for months when AMC closed up from previous close on Friday. Following Monday would too. Have you heard anything about PXP and the Point Pay crypto wallet? I have not, B Rose. AMC is like my totally real girlfriend. I thought it was going to be quick in and out, and then I'm living with it happily daily, in and out through the ups and downs. Thoughts on Facebook moving back to 345 today. So Facebook's interesting. It's obviously having a green day. It's up 1.4%. There is eventually Facebook will have this gap fill at 338.15. I strongly believe that. Yesterday, it sold off because of the technical issues it was having, but I don't know if it's necessarily out of the woods because the Senate committee hearing is going on today with Frances Hagan, the woman who kind of blew the whistle on some of the weird practices that Facebook has going on, potentially just like putting its revenue over some moral decisions related to its users. So with Facebook, like I said, I do believe it's going to eventually gap fill to 338, but I don't know if today is the day to really create a position betting on that. I would want to know what's going to go down in the Senate committee meeting. All right, sweet. IWM looking strong. AMC also looking strong. We just look at this quad top at 37.25. This low 37 level, that's the exact level I was talking about pre-market of. Let me show you on the daily right here. We're like perfectly at this line, like almost to the cent. We're at this line. We very much want this to recapture 40, then 41.50. That's what I would be watching in the short term on AMC. All right. Kind of an important update. I was fortunate enough to get into contact with Lisa Braganza, the lawyer who has been on Charles Payne a couple times, and then she was most recently commenting on the class action lawsuit brought against, I guess, both Citadel Securities and Robinhood. So things are moving in the background. I can't confirm that it will or won't happen, and obviously I can't confirm a date, but just so you know, I have been in contact with her, and we're just trying to get some things figured out to make sure that it works, and obviously I have to make sure that she's like comfortable with doing it and all of that. But I have been in talks with her, and I would love to bring on, obviously, a lawyer who has an in-depth knowledge, because a lot of the legalese is, I think, assumptions from people within our community, and that's fine. Like, we're doing the best with what we have, but I figure it would be awesome, given the opportunity, to bring on a lawyer who has an intimate knowledge of what is and isn't going on. And obviously she does, as we saw her rhetoric when she was speaking on making money with Charles Payne. And just through that interview, we could tell that she had a lot more to say. And so I've been in contact with her, and we're just trying to like square away some of the details. So once it's confirmed, once we have a date and a time and everything like that, I will let all of you know. But very, very excited to have most likely a super fruitful conversation with her. Bought 5 mil of Shiba. Let's go to $1. Hey, Eddie, I hope it does it. Facebook is Kenny G's real girlfriend. Matt, bell to bell is the future. Your channel changed my life. You could have your own satellite radio station. People would listen. You could change the world of finance. Thanks for everything. Going to miss you, bell to bell. I appreciate that. Those are very, very kind words. And my entire intent is to do exactly what you're saying. Not necessarily bell to bell, but my attempt, and I know it's a lofty goal, but I very much want to change the entire world of finance, education, entertainment, and all of that. And I think the time frame of it's just too much to do that. The way people consume content, I think it's better in shows like this that are 2 hours or less. It's not like anyone out there. When you do a 7-hour thing, people don't really they're only going to exclusively watch it live. There's no recap of the show, and that inherently then gets spread to less and less people. And that's, I guess, an assumption. It's obviously not like I have the hardcore facts in front of me, but I'm just thinking about human psychology, and it's like, well, how many of you watching right now, very few of you, I would assume, would go and watch a 7-hour show that's already concluded. And that kind of gets problematic if your entire goal is to change like kind of this world of finance, entertainment, and education for the better. Maybe my assumption's wrong. I don't know. I feel like I'm very much on the frontier of this thing, deciding how it goes. There's not really much of a blueprint for like the type of things that have been happening recently and the way that it intersects with social media. So it's a tough call. It's a lot of assumptions. It's a lot of gut feel, but it's one of those things that my gut has gotten me this far. And I've also noticed the pattern that every time I've doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on myself, my team, and what we're doing in this world, it seemed to pay off. Obviously, there's stress and anxiety related to it. And I'm currently at one of those junctions in my life. It's stressful, it's anxiety, but I think in the long term, it's the bet. It's almost, I view it as like short-term pain for long-term success. I'm skeptical, but apparently Sheeb claims it's doing an auto burn with the goal of burning tokens until it hits 1 cent. Whoa. Ortex on FAMI. FAMI. Short interest is 16.5%. Shares on loan 65.63 million, and a utilization of 91.34%. Matt, I rewatched the 6-2 stream on Red Days. That's hilarious, Mark. I like that. Wait, I'm curious. How many of you have gone back and watched that June 2nd like AMC stream of when it ran like 96% and things were absolutely insane? Let me know in chat. I'm curious if like that's like the specific one that people just maybe wanted to relive it, or maybe they didn't experience it and they're like, well, hang on, there's a whole stream that kind of documented it. I'm curious. Today's the day. Insert Finding Nemo starfish. What's going on, David Investor? I'm just a hopeful reminder that it's doable. Shout out, Marcy. I could watch this duck kid forever. What's going on, Jesus? What do you think about Tilray climbing today? I wonder if people are finally reacting to, like, slowly but surely getting closer to federal legalization in the marinara industry. But remember, it's still in a downtrend. Tilray, which I am bullish on, I would still be paying attention to this trend line. It would be awesome for this to actually get back above 13, 14 and start. I mean, it's been in a bear trend ever since June of this year. Actually longer. You could argue it's been in a bear trend ever since this February run up where it tagged 67. So you're just looking for the trend to officially change. Which, yeah, the conjunction is like right here in the mid 11s. You could call it 12. Like if it gets above 12 quickly in the short term, you could probably say it's definitely, it's attempting to break out of the trend. When I watch that stream, man, I have to take a cold shower afterwards. People, she will absolutely never hit 1 cent. You may make money, and I hope you do, but 1 cent, and we'll have a 2 quadruple the market cap of BTC. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know much about she, but that sounds like a lofty growth. Sorry to hear you changing schedules. You're an anchor to many. Give us hope daily. Make your voice loud so the community can grow. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I strongly believe one of the best ways I've been doing this now, like specifically the AMC and GME thing for about 10 months. And over 10 months, I feel like that's enough data points to know that I think AMC and GME have more in it. And my efforts alone of streaming all day has like clearly not gotten us to the level that we're all satisfied with. So now you just have to do something different. I believe Albert Einstein had the quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result. And when I apply that to this, I'm like, okay, we need more light. We need more apes. We need more people to pay attention to the malfeasance going on in Wall Street. And we weren't getting it. And I feel like I had 10 months of data points. So now it's, okay, try something else. Like I can't expect a different result of getting regulators to do something, making waves, even more waves on mainstream media. Like I know there was inklings here and there of getting some traction, but none of it came to the true fruition of getting the community to the level that I think it needs to get true changes at the highest level of government and Wall Street. So now it's just switching it up. Like I said, I don't know if it's the right step or the wrong step, but I know making no change, well, how could I ever expect something different? Clearly, I enjoy the market. I love the market. I have the passion for it. But to me, it's to the point now where we need to elevate it. We need to elevate it to the next level. We need to interview people on Wall Street. We need to interview market makers. We need to interview lawyers. We need to get political people involved. We should probably interview some politicians and explain our case. I truly feel that I've done quite a bit for the community, but I also know in the back of my head that I think I'm capable of doing more, and that's exactly what I'm trying to execute on. My entire goal is to express the voice of the community to the best of my ability and make change for all of us and future generations. And it's now of, okay, well, if you're saying that, that's cool talk, like you're talking the talk. And I feel like recently, like over these past 10 months, I've been walking the walk, but I think I could do it. I think I could run the run. I just want to bring it all to the next level. I'm a web developer and I have an idea that goes along with what you're trying to do. Would do it in a way to contribute, not trying to sell. Shout out, Corey. Yeah, feel free to reach out to me, DM me, email me. We could talk about it. Just join. Have you seen Sheeb? It's ripping. What's your take on it? it is ripping. I don't really actively follow it. Some people are very excited for it to go. Someone else just pointed out that for it to hit 1 cent, it would be exponentially more valuable than Bitcoin. I think that's a tough goal. Like, I don't think that's that reasonable of a goal, but that's one person's opinion. I don't think you should take that as like the gospel. I guess I just don't know enough about it. I track more of the well-established cryptos, and that's where my crypto money's at. My money is at Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, Hex, Solana, Polygon, aka Matic, Doge. I have a little bit of Algorand. I have a little bit of Litecoin. I don't like Litecoin. And I have a little bit of VeChain. Vlad seen this coming. He announced Robinhood IPO right after his first GME hearing, pushed IPO without proper licensing, then sold stakes in company IPO first day. Yeah, he's messed up. Oh, another Robinhood announcement. They just announced a 24 hours, like 24/7 customer, I guess, care service initiative, which they've been notoriously against for a while. So I think it's interesting now in early October that they're like, oh yeah, no, like we should probably have some sort of 24/7 like communication line with our clients. Good morning. Can you check out NLST 3-month chart and share your non-financial advice? Thank you, NLST. Well, ever since July, obviously downtrending, but it seems like it's trying to fight. So I would look for that breakout of 650, and then I'd feel a little bit more confident because you'd have higher lows, a new relative high. I'd feel more confident about it at that point above 650. Why a transition out of Webull? Because Webull is a brokerage that facilitates trading off exchange. They do it via payment for order flow. But what I'm inherently against is all of this trading that's done off exchange. And if you do any trades on Webull, there's a high probability it's done off exchange. And I think it's the sign of a healthier market if more people are trading on exchange. So that's why I transitioned off, and I will let you know when the transfer goes through. I try to do it like, I don't know. I'll let you know when it all settles in that, because I don't know. I think that's important for people to know. What do you think about Hex? I like it. The more I learn about it. Didn't you use Webull in the past? Yes, I did. But obviously, like, I'm also learning. And then when I had more of these well-discussed, or like, I guess, highly informed discussions with people like Dave Lauer, it was more of like my aha moment. It's not like coming into this, I was like a market structure expert. With like many of you, I'm learning as we go. So when it became very clear that one of the most detrimental aspects of our current system is the entire retail trading public being segmented off exchange, it became kind of an obvious decision that, oh, okay, well, I need to fight back against it. What about Webull 2.0? It's all the same thing. They're so, like, I mean, that's just a different web app. Has there been any talk about a potential ape coin for us during the squeeze? I haven't heard about ApeCoin. Wireless Hospital, shout out. Hey, Matt, have you ever tried to get Ken Griffin to do an AMA live stream regarding GME? I haven't, and that's just because I feel like it'd be a waste of time. There's no way Ken Griffin would talk to a person like me. There's no way. Maybe, but I would bet. Like, there would be no net gain to him. It would, in the best case scenario, it would be neutral, but in reality, if I get him to trip up and say something he shouldn't, just the fact that you guys would tear him apart anyway. A person like him, there's just no net gain. So like, why would he do it? You wouldn't be able to pay him to do it. He's already a billionaire. He doesn't need money. There's just someone in his position where he's at in his life, and like what's going on with market makers and Citadel Securities and the things I've previously said about him, there's no way he would do it. Yeah, someone just said he didn't even talk to Vlad. Like, that's a good point. All right, so the market is looking good right now. We see the SPY pushing. We see IWM. How is crypto looking? Bitcoin is looking good. Ethereum is looking good. Solana's looking good. Cardano's looking good. Crypto's looking good. The overall market's looking good. I even like AMC above this low 37 level. Would love for it to push 37.50 and make a run at 40. So we're seeing GME's not looking the best as of now, unfortunately, but besides that, things are looking pretty solid today. I guess rewinding a little bit about like Webull and payment for order flow very quickly. Don't forget to sign up to Public, completely free. You get up to $70 in free stock. No dark pools, no market makers, no payment for order flow. It is for U.S. residents, and there's no options trading. But I don't. There's not really, in my opinion, a good reason to be using payment for order flow platforms anymore. So you could check out Public. I believe it's pinned to the top of chat. And if you're trying to get a piece of this juicy crypto run, another app you can download to your phone is Voyager. The code for that is MAT21, MAT21. Let me just throw that above my head. Right there, MAT21. Just put that in, and when you trade $100 of any crypto, they'll give you an extra $25 of Bitcoin as like a bonus, just so everyone knows. And here's a rocket. here's a rocket just to make everyone happy. He has a deal with Bloomberg. Who has a deal with Bloomberg? Ken does? I don't know if that's true or not. Who said that? DM something. DM Trader. Who has a deal with Bloomberg? I'd totally talk to you, man, but I'd lie faux show. Shout out Kenneth Griffin. Didn't you use Webull before? Yeah, I did. I also used to shit my pants as a kid, and then I stopped. Yeah, that's kind of weird. As like a creator, you're attacked for like anything. I mean, I think I'm very evident. Like I admit I'm not a perfect trader. I'm not an expert. I'm doing my best to learn and then convey all of that with you on a day over day basis. I mean, I have a decade of trading experience and I feel very confident in many aspects. But one of the things that this last 10 months has really taught me is market structure. And it's just because I've been fortunate enough to have a direct contact with people such as Dave Lauer, who truly have expert level knowledge within the subject. Speaking of which, I am doing a podcast with Dave Lauer on Monday, October 11th. So the next Monday, or I guess this Monday. If you want to sign up for it, it's being hosted by IEX, which is a lit exchange. So it's like the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. It's another one. It's one of the lit exchanges. If you've ever read the book Flash Boys, that's what like IEX came out of it to battle high frequency traders. Well, anyway, they have their own podcast. If you want to register to listen to the event live, it is in the description of the video. It's free. And then this Monday, I'm interviewing Michael Saylor, who's very, very bullish on crypto. He's the CEO of MicroStrategy. Our conversation will center around crypto, and I'll be asking him questions about AMC accepting it. And I'll maybe even be talking about GME and their whole NFT thing. But it's more, I want to ask him questions about what it's like for a company to take on a whole new currency and what it does for a company, the pros, the cons, all that stuff. That's this Friday at 4:30. Once again, free. It's on YouTube. It will be hosted by TTG, True Trading Group. And then on Saturday, I'm doing another thing with TTG and basically talking about AMC and GME, their history, what went down with Roaring Kitty, my personal history, kind of the event. I'll be going over all the terms like what is a short squeeze, gamma squeeze. It'll just be kind of like a quick crash course lecture on AMC and GME, where we've been, where we're at, where we could be going, and some of the trading methodologies that have spun out of them. That is on Saturday, and the sign up for that, another thing that is free, is in the description of the video. So the Michael Saylor one, you don't have to sign up for. The Dave Lauer one and the other TTG one, you do have to sign up for it, but all three of these are completely free. All right, AMC's looking hot. Looking like a hot tamale. 37.60 just made a new intraday high at 37.63. Welcome back to all those who attended ACL in Austin, Texas. Texas time traveler. If we were to buy into GM, is now the time? At what price would you like? I mean, I don't know your time frame. Like, are you a long-term investor, short-term? To me, this is not the ideal time to get into GM. I would have preferred to get in back here, and as it was moving like in the lower 50s, it's at 54. There's this gap below it. We have another gap. I think you'd be able to get it at a cheaper price if you were talking about long-term. I don't know your time frame though. So it's tough for you to say, like, for me to explain like how I would personally handle it. There's a lot of gaps in this chart though. That's weird. GM has a lot of gaps. But if you're playing GM, especially for their EV autonomous play, I personally believe that Tesla's a stronger play. If declared overlord of Earth, how would you create a perfect utopia? Wait, so I should stop using Weeble 2.0? I've already bought the new pass. Oh, the Call of Duty. Randall, what's going on? Late night tech call support. What are you wearing, Vlad from Robinhood? Vlad, khakis. AMC, looking good. Looking good, looking good. All right. AMC 37.70 currently, up a nice 2.45%. GME pushing the break even, just a couple more cents to go, and then that'll be green. Nice, nice, nice. We're seeing the SPY push. We're seeing IWM push. We're seeing a lot of things push. When did the channel become a sheep community? I don't think it did. I don't think I'm like known as a Sheeb supporter by any means. But hey, if you're in it, if you're making money, I congratulate you. This is more of a me giving some rants as I like finally lose my tether to reality, and also just hoping that you're making money in the markets. I like stocks, I like options, I like futures, I like crypto. If you're in that, if that's what you're interested in, and if that's where you're making money, I congratulate you. Oh, speaking about Sheeb and crypto and that stuff, I don't know if any of you saw like more of the what I would consider to be more highly produced VOD upload yesterday about the Pandora Papers, but in a similar style, I want to start doing more, I guess, like intro crypto ones. And I was just curious, like what's everyone's like favorite crypto, or what are the questions on your mind? Like, do you like the quote unquote blue chips like cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano? Are you guys more interested in altcoins? Are your questions the technical ones? Like, what's the difference in the consensus models? Do you want to know how to buy them? Do you want Bitcoin videos, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Hex, Sheeb? Like, what? My entire goal is basically to provide education and entertainment for the things you want. So if there's something specifically on your mind, just let me know and I'll do that. I'm seeing a lot of Cardano, a lot of ADA. Staking, altcoins, XRP, Doge, what's the top? Coin scams, that's a good one. Cardano and how to buy Sheeb. Doge, AMC, Doge because of AMC. Well, also, AMC is accepting Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. They're accepting various ones. VeChain, Algo. Staking. Okay. All right. Sweet. I appreciate the feedback. I really, really do. Ethereum 2.0, upcoming projects, how to start Bitcoin and what to get in, Polygon. All right. Sweet. This feedback is amazing. Thank you. That gives me some ideas for like weekend content or even just like normal week content. It's just, sometimes I sit there and I think, I'm like, okay, like what does the community want? And then I'm like, well, duh, just ask the community. Man, AMC looking good. Looking good. Wait, when is... I threw more money into public. just to see what would hit first, the money deposit or the transfer from Webull to public. And I want to see what the dates are. So like I said, I transferred from Webull to public. I initiated it yesterday, and I also just deposited money. I figured it would be a kind of like a smart move. A smart move. If you look at AMC on public, there's like a caution sign that says high risk. Oh, that's funny. Wait, bye. All right. Sweet. So just so everyone knows, because that's always like the trade-off. Is it faster to transfer shares, or is it faster to just sell and then buy as quickly as you can with a money transfer? And with public, I submitted money yesterday and it already hit today, but obviously the transfer hasn't gone. So if that's something on your mind of, okay, like what's faster? Like I don't want my shares to be out in the ether. It does appear to be faster to just do a money transfer instead of a stock transfer. That does have other implications that you'd have to consider, such as tax implications of like if you have a realized gain. So it's not as straightforward of like, oh, just take the faster path. But I just did a little thing myself just to know. No options, no extended hours trading on public. I think the no options thing could actually be good for a lot of people, because I think people are underestimating the impact of volatility, and then people are putting way too much money in options. When the moment is right, options can kill it. If you want to make the most money comes from trading options properly, but with the little asterisks on the word properly. I think people are underestimating the difficulty in trading such a complex asset class, the derivative of equities, a derivative. All right. Can you please show us how to direct my AMC shares to a lit exchange on Active Trader Pro? I just can't find how to do it. Okay, so on Fidelity, I don't have that platform on my PC here. There's just like a route options, and you could pick just a lit exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, something like that. But it should, I believe there's a route, and that also should, if you just search Active Trader Pro routing, it should show up, but I believe it's just like a drop down. So Eric Thompson, transfer to public took 3 days. Okay, I'll let you know with mine. I just want to do a quick test just because like I get that question a lot. And with me telling everyone, hey, we got to trade on lit exchanges, and people asking about transfers and depositing money, I was just like, okay, we'll just do it myself so I can like tell you at least my own anecdotal experience. Is everyone watching the GameStop documentary on Vice TV called The Big Squeeze tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern? Looks pretty good. This is the first time I'm hearing it, but I will definitely be watching that. I don't know if I'll be watching it tomorrow at 9 p.m., but it's going to be on my to-do list. Someone for coming back to Fidelity Active Trader Pro, trades and orders, and then you go to directed trade and extended hours. B9 U4 EA. I appreciate that. Have you ever looked into the crypto Stratus? I have not. Recently, if I'm being straightforward with everyone, my recent purchases in the world of crypto have been Ethereum, Solana. I bought ADA like a month ago, right before the Alonzo hard fork, and Hex. These have been my most recent ones. I'm in a lot of these other ones, but my most recent purchase was Ethereum. Right before that was Solana, and right before that was Hex, were my three most recent crypto portfolio purchases. but I do need to stress the fact that I don't actively trade crypto. The things I just bought, there's a good chance that I hold them for quite a while. Some of the Ethereum I bought, I bought it last Thursday. Some of that I was intending to buy an NFT drop yesterday, but then I didn't want to because Ethereum itself popped so much that I was like, wait, I just ended up getting Ethereum at like a super good price. I ended up getting it around 2,800 and I bought all that. And I was like, well, hang on, like why take the risk on the NFT when I could just have a really nice like average? Like I basically ended up buying it around support and I was like super excited about it. So I was like, oh, I'll just hold on to it now. So I ended up changing my like NFT plan and just am now sitting on more Ethereum. All right. Hammer on AMC, the artsy cart hammer. Like, are you talking about the daily chart pattern? We don't have much of a wick. I guess it depends on the time frame that you're paying attention to, but no matter how you slice it, we're seeing green. SPY up, IWM up, AMC up. It's a good green day. The apes are flexing. Who gets the reference? I can't wait for AMC to go to 2,112, 21,120, 211,200, 2,112,000. Shout out, just sharing some fun price points. Shout out, Rob. Would love to hear more about utility coins. DOT and Kava are some that I'm in. Okay. I mean, I'm actually most bullish on utility coins. That's why I'm in Solana, Cardano, and Ethereum. Like I'm most bullish on utility coins. Store of value, such as Bitcoin, I'm in it, but it's not like my most bullish one. And then digital currency, I would honestly argue that the strongest digital currency right now is Doge. And like I'm bullish on all of them. I'm just most bullish on utility coins. Calm, cool, collected, the RC cart. If crotch goblins are in your dreams. Transfer via ACH from bank to TD 24 hours. Coinbase and Kraken same day. Next day shares for employee purchase. Computer share to brokerage. Sheep to the moon. Use profits for AMC. I mean, I'm fine with it. Like I'm not going to be loading up on Sheep, but I'm also not going to sit here and be like against you. Like if you're in something, I want you to obviously make money. All right, SPY looking strong. IWM just hit a new intraday high. Just so you know, AMC's current intraday high is 3780-ish. Looking strong, looking strong. It's a good day. Good day. More and more green. What else do we have rocking? Let me see if there's any other breaking news now that probably some news has actually come out. What else do we have? All right. How's this going? Whistleblower live on Fox. Can you set price alerts, buy and sell on Voyager? I find crypto moves so quick while I'm at work. And Alec, I don't know that off the top of my head. When I do alerts, I have trading view here. So with it, like if you can chart it, you can set alerts, and then that's how I do all of my alerts. Because this also functions as like a phone app you can download, and then any of the alerts. I don't know if Voyager itself has, but I guess I haven't tried. I can look into it for you, but I just end up doing it through TradingView. Thoughts on BTCM? We're talking about this miner, BTCM. Ooh, nice bounce off of 760. The resistance support, nice bounce coming back around. Look for this to clear 920 there, Cootery. And then from there, you can watch 1030. That I like that bounce, but it makes sense because look at what's going on with crypto right now. So like it being probably a Bitcoin Ethereum miner, that makes a lot of sense that it's also picking up. All right, what else? What other news do we have? Live testimony on Fox from the Facebook whistleblower. Schumer says talks on Build Back Better with White House making good progress. What else do we have? Speaking about crypto and NFTs, I saw this one stat that I forgot to share with you. It was just reported that we just started the fourth fiscal quarter. Like as of October, we're in the fourth quarter. Last quarter, like Q3, NFTs accounted for $10.7 billion in sales, which is 8x Q2. So this whole concept of like the NFT boom is a very, very real thing. That is a lot of sales. And the growth, not only is the magnitude high, but the growth in 8x, 800%, that's crazy. It's absolutely insane. What else do we have? Carl Icahn has significant stake in Southwest Gas. Senator warned to deliver floor speech on Fed corruption at 11 a.m. Interesting. AMC flexing. I can't, like, the Federal Reserve people who've been trading, like, that just, it seems so wild. It seems bonkers to me. All right, looks like the SPY and IWM are taking a breather, and that's acceptable. I mean, if you take a look at the RSI on both of these, they've been running since 9:45 this morning. It makes sense that they're like, okay, like we need to take a breather, like make sure it's all good, make a new base and go from there. How do I tag mods, Miss Chat? You just do @ and then their name. What's the benefit of transferring out of Webull when shares are already bought? Wouldn't you just open a new account with public for new trades? Yeah, but the shares that you're in, like you're going to have to sell those one of these days. Like, do you want those to happen off exchange, like your sales? I think I guess that's fine. Like, just know what you're engaging in. Like, if you own shares on Webull and you don't want to transfer, just know that like at some point you're going to want to get out of those shares, which is still market maker trading. But if you're okay with like one last market maker trade and then all your new purchases on public, like I just want everyone to understand the situation. Like, I'm not here to tell you what you like should or shouldn't be doing. I'm here to like share, I guess, like my own thoughts on it. Hey Matt, what can you tell me about Sheepcoin? I tripled my investment, but now it's this news on Robinhood pumping. It scares me. I don't trust them. What can I tell you about Sheeb? My knowledge of Sheeb is that chat is going bonkers about it. And the chat seems to be split 50-50. Half the people who are in it are stoked because they're up money. And then the other half seems to be against it. And they're saying it's a pump and dump and you guys are lucky and you should get out while you still have profits. That seems to be that is the full extent of my Sheeb knowledge. I own some. It was gifted to me by Voyager when I filled out a questionnaire. I got like $25 worth of it. I wouldn't mind if it moves to Kingdom Come, but I don't know much about it. So I'm not here to be like, oh, like I'm just not informed of it. Like I could bullshit you and just say, oh, like this, and this. But in like reality, I just don't know enough about it to speak about it. So if you're in it, I wish you the best of luck. Mod chat. Where are we? Hang on. Member longer than I've been a member. Trace sheep. Oh, that's funny. TCH. Sorry if this is a stupid question, but if I transfer from Webull to Public, are they forced to cover my shares since Public is a lit exchange? No, because it's not additional purchasing. It's switching the brokerage that technically has the ownership that you then have the fancy IOU thing from. It's not like one brokerage sells and then another buys. Like there's no new buying or selling. It's just the transfer of ownership. Matt, did you see that Congress is off next week? That only gives them 4 days to figure out the debt ceiling. Can't wait to see all the new content. Wait, no way. Rick, is seriously Congress? Can anyone confirm that? Is Congress actually off next week? No way. Look into Sheep Swap and stake your sheep. That's from DC. Cosmic. Oh, man. The Discord's going nuts. Just so you know, there is a Moon Gang Discord. So if you want to hang out with other Moon Gangers throughout the day, especially if I'm not streaming, that link's in the description if that's anything that interests you. Can you please check out what? Mandatory vacation? I don't get it. I work every day. I don't ever have a mandatory weekend. Congress. Why are they getting a mandatory Congress recess? October. This is, you guys are just bringing this up to me because you know it's going to piss me off. Yeah, October 11th to the 15th. And I guess it's because of Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day or whatever you want to call it. But because of that holiday, they're like, oh yeah, no, we need the whole week. This is so stupid. You totally just said this because you know it's just going to make me so incredibly angry. No, why would you do it? I could already feel my heart, my blood pressure. This is why the cardiovascular person I'm going to have to see in the future, I'm just going to forward all of you the bill. The bill will be split between all 11,000 of you. Why? Like, what? This is one of the closest times we've ever come to defaulting on our debt. And they're like, yeah, because of that holiday that not many people put weight on Columbus Day. It's not like July 4th or something. It's definitely like a B tier holiday, Columbus Day. And they're like, yeah, no, we need the whole week off. Like, come on. We elect these people and they make borderline at minimum $200K a year. And they're like, yeah, no, we need the week off, dude. Like, oh, that debt ceiling thing that could send our economy into a calamity, according to Janet Yellen. Yeah, we're going to take the whole week off. Don't worry about that. Like, come on. More money for AMC possibilities with SDC. A couple of apes in chat want to know your thoughts on it. On SDC, I mean, it was looking like it finally got some price action today. So nice. Oh, there you go. Look at that. A close above 565. I would say you're breaking out of this bull channel that you have going, and look for it to rock above 580 and then lines up a move to 6, but above 565, what's its volume at? 6 mil. I would like to see it above its 10-day average, which is currently 14.5 mil. So look for 15 mil in volume and a close above 565, and that's like boding very well for the bulls. Are you worried about utilization going down? What is it today? I am not, because remember, utilization is just the amount of shares on loan divided by the total loanable shares, X divided by Y. And both of those numbers are dynamic from minute to minute, from second to second. The way utilization can go down, there is a scenario in which utilization goes down, but the short interest goes up. So utilization doesn't, I would want to know why it goes down. I would need the other metrics. Just to look at the shares on loan, just to look at the short interest, just to look at utilization all individually is not useful. You need to consider the entire picture. Oh, this is interesting. Most Congress people are busy with work in their home state during the state work periods, which is the point, not vacationing, not defending Congress, just stating facts. Oh, okay. So they're not on vacation. It sounds like they're just like doing, I guess, another part of their duties. Okay. I can understand that. I could get behind that, and I understand the value in that. Can you check CLEU on Ortex? Looks like one of these education ones. Its short interest it's high, but it's not like something I would care about for a short squeeze. It's not even 10%. It's 9.97. Matt stuck suspenders. BTCM. Yes, we could check this. It's looking strong though. This is BTCM, Bit Mining Limited. It is moving with crypto, and it has a short interest of 15.34%, utilization of 99.9, shares on loan of 10.6. I would like the utilization to be a bit higher. It seems like the ones of these FTD short squeeze play, it seems like the sweet spot is at least 30, like 30 or higher. But that's kind of the trade-off. I don't know if this one's on the threshold list. Where does it trade? The New York Stock Exchange. I'll double check right now to see if it is or isn't on it. NYSE threshold. Let's double check. I don't think it is 10 BTCM. It is not. So it's not on the threshold list, and it's not a medium float. It is a smaller float, but it's not like as small as I would want it to be. So it's still like a decent setup. Like BTCM is definitely a setup, especially with crypto being on the move right now. But it's not like I wouldn't somehow denote it as like a 5-star play. Can you check FDX? Schwack Hammer. FDX. FedEx. FedEx is moving up 3.8% on the day. Looks like it's bouncing off, potentially making a run to 230. And then you have a gap fill opportunity all the way up to 248. I wonder why FedEx has been hit so bad lately. It bounced off of the support from early September of 2020. So basically it just gave back its gains from 13 months ago. But finally bouncing. Nice reversion play. I like the risk reward. The risk is very reasonable at 216. You'd risk $10 per share to hopefully, what's it at, 226, to hopefully make $22. So it's a 2-to-1 risk to reward. Not the best, but good. I mean, that's obviously like it's better than 1-to-1, 2-to-1. 2-to-1, I don't know if I necessarily want to go below that, but I mean, FedEx, well-established company. I think there's an argument for this one. If anything, I would want to look into why it got hit so much. It looks like it kind of dropped right after its earnings. So I would want to do a little bit more deep dive of what's going on with the company's fundamentals. But in terms of a technical perspective, I think a reversion play is like there's a strong argument for it. All right, we did that. Did I hear AMC is fueling the rocket? I mean, it's looking strong. It's pushing 38 right now. Remember, I'm watching 40, and then from there, 41.50, and after that, gap fill opportunity up to 44.20. Is there a reason I'm not mentioning ATR? It's just not really moving. Yeah. Why am I not mentioning ATR? Because it hasn't done anything. It has support in the low nines, currently trading at 980. You're looking for it to get back above 1125. It's tough to talk about things if they're not moving. I never really avoid anything. It's just, I guess I avoid things that are not moving because I don't have much of an input. But ATR, you have to wait. Either it breaks below 9 and gets pushed to 8, or it starts breaking up, watch 1125 from there and be watching 13. What do you think about trading with knockout? I haven't heard of that. You know what I have heard of though? I heard the rumors that AMC's in the green, pushing that 38 level. AMC currently up 2.69%, GME up 0.27%, SPY is green, the Qs are green, IWM is green. It's days like this that let me rewind a little bit of. We have some people pushing that rhetoric of like, oh, hang on, like there's a scenario in which an overall market sell-off could be good for us. I mean, days like today make me believe that less because look at the SPY, the Qs, and IWM are all green. You know what else is green? AMC and GME. I'm not saying that like, hang on, maybe today's a fluke. Like maybe it is truly like in a negative beta. That's a possibility. But this concept of like rooting for a market crash because that will somehow trigger a mother of all short squeezes. I can't say it's wrong. Like usually when I know people are wrong, I just tell them like straight up they're wrong. There is a chance it is true, but I don't know I just think like days like today like are kind of showing the opposite. The three of the major indices, I should say, there's probably the Dow's like another one. They're all green. AMC and GME are green. So it makes me a little bit skeptical to be like, oh yeah, we should be rooting for this for the mother of all short squeezes. You should dye your hair. Thank you, Smitherman. What color? Turnaround Tuesday for the win. Also, you my boy. You make Papa proud. Shout out Jeremy. Happy World Teachers Day, everyone. Just a reminder that Kenji blamed educators for wealth inequality yesterday. Hold the line, ladies and gents. Yeah, didn't he also say Chicago's like Afghanistan? And didn't he say his goal is to protect the American dream? I believe those were all things that were uttered from him. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know if you agree. Oh. You do agree. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you. For those of you who didn't know, I do have a live audience today. It's a live audience and they're here. They paid a lot of money to be here in my basement. In fact, we had to relocate some of my mods, at least their sleeping quarters. And yeah, it's fun. I've never done a live audience before, but this is an opportunity. Sorry. If any of you, if you didn't see the Ken Griffin discussion yesterday, that joke right there is not going to make sense to you. But if you did see the Ken Griffin speech on Bloomberg yesterday, that joke slaps. What camera do you use? This is a Sony A7S III. Oh man, this Kenny boy just gives us way too much content. Way too much content. All right, what else do we have? It slaps. Well, at least one of us has the stair stepper high score. How do you? How dare you, Kenny Griffin? Yeah, I know. DDS. I'm coming down there for DDS. Challenger promotion. I worked for FedEx. We had a huge earnings miss the other week. Also warned about inflation. Maybe it's just an opportunity to buy on weakness, though, Vinny. Give us that inside line. Actually, do not do that, please. Sheeb. Wait, Cootery, you're up 117% on Sheeb. Is the deal for the hot chip if AMC reaches 45 still on? Would you stream it the next day or make a video? I'd rather see the live if possible. I guess I would like to do it live, but the deal changes day to day. Like in the morning, the target gets set. Today, a target wasn't set. No one asked me about it, but it's never like a consistent level. It's more of like, if we get a nice push to this level today, it's more of like an exciting thing. And then, yeah, I guess I'd eat it live. Why not? Just so you guys know it's all real. Can I petition for a 3 to 4 hour stream if you're going down to 1? TMI's jokes drive me crazy, and I'd rather insert an entire bag of peas into myself than watch money. Also, what email should I reach out to? That was mean. Mean but funny. I'm not going down. Oh, not 1 hour. I'm here for the one stream, the 3 to 4 hour. Did you see Review Dork's tweet with Trey? Apparently he ordered 5 more of the hot chips. Sounds like the guy's gonna have some fun. I mean, I just have that one. I didn't see that tweet. If it came out like during the stream, I didn't catch up on it yet. But that a lot of people have been reaching out to me, and they're like, please do not eat it. It's like really bad. I'm not bad with spicy food, but I'm also not one of those weird people who's like, I love spicy food. I eat spicy food on everything. I wake up in the morning by putting hot sauce into my eyes. Spice, spice, spice. You know those people who like brag about it? They're like, I go to like every wing restaurant and I get like so spicy. The spiciest thing. The spicier the better. And like, you know, then they're like, they eat it and they're like, didn't even taste it. Like the waiter comes like, how was it? Was it hot? And they're like, I didn't even taste it at all. As they're like sweating. I'm not one of those people. I can handle some spice. I mean, I grew up in rural PA. It's not like we had some like authentic spicy cuisine. It turns out when you grow up in a farm town of like 5,000 white people, you're not like getting high quality like Thai or Indian food or something like that. But I don't know. I figured I could still eat it. And like when I announced that, they're like, yeah, like he seems okay. People were like, no, like do not do it then. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Saw Venom 2. Awesome. Also showed trailer for Moonfall movie. Can you play before you go? The moon will come to us. That would be kicked off very, very quickly. Definitely cannot play a movie theater's trailer. That would be problematic. SDC a gap fill? SDC has that gap fill. I mean, it doesn't have a gap fill. Am I missing something? I don't see a gap fill on SDC. Sheep, duckling, cow. I was flying on Friday, so I missed your show. What was the reason for the jump in AMC besides people were buying? Well, I mean, that's always going to be the reason. On Friday, did it move? What happened on Friday? On Friday, it didn't move. On Thursday, it did. On Thursday, the 30th moved, but Friday and Monday were red days, and now we have the turnaround Tuesday thing.
Whoa, brother. Big super chat.
Only people that don't live in Chicago think it's Afghanistan. Kenny's a rich dude in Chicago. Untouchable. 5 hoods crime in a city is almost 3 million. And folks act like folks walking around with AKs. What's going on, El Randall? His commentary is just, he's so disconnected from reality. It's absurd. It's absurd. But hey, whatever. You know what's going on for us? SPY green, IWM green, AMC green, GME green, green. Apes are flexing their muscles. All right. It's 11. That is the end of today's show. Do not forget, I will be doing a video upload. If you don't know anything about the Pandora Papers, I posted a video on it yesterday. I'm attempting to make all these things more highly produced, more highly researched, more informative, more entertaining. So check that video out. It was posted yesterday. And I will then be doing another one today. And the segments from this, like the rundown and everything, that'll all end up over on Kohrs Light. But as always, thank you so much for the support. Don't forget to sign up for Public. Don't forget to sign up for Voyager. And if you want to register for the Dave Lauer podcast or the TTG talk on Saturday, the Dave Lauer one's on Monday, both of those are in the description of the video, completely free. And then on Friday, you don't have to sign up for anything, but that's the Michael Saylor interview. But hey, it looks like it's an amazing day. We're seeing a bunch of stocks and indexes green. We're seeing crypto in the green. Things are looking awesome right now. As always, thank you so much for the support. And I will be catching you in the video this afternoon. And then also we'll be streaming again tomorrow, bright and early, 9 a.m., right when all the farmers and fishermen get up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll catch you later.